People are lazy. Nobody wants to do the hard work. They do not want to give that blood, sweat, and everything to it. Most of the professional jobs that anybody do takes around 6 to 8 years to just get a decent payout. Only thing that's easy is opening the account. There is no limit how much money you can make. It's just limitless. And second thing is you have time. You can do it from anywhere you are, whatever you are. You have freedom of time and money, but not in the initial phase. Maybe after 3 years, maybe after 5 years, maybe a couple of years. But it can give you a kind of return that you can hardly make from just a few industries, like 10,000 person, maybe 100,000 person.
Today, I had the pleasure of interviewing MK, one of the most enthusiastic traders I think I've ever come across in my life. He has an absolute wealth of knowledge. He can talk for England. I've not met many people that can talk more than me. So it made for a really interesting chat. He has worked his way up from the ground up to where he is now, and he's achieving some really fantastic things. And I'm genuinely really excited to see where he's going to end up. So yeah, it was a really interesting chat. He's a quality trader. He knows a lot of stuff. He knows so much about the marketplace, which is great because it made for really interesting viewing from me as well, and he taught me a thing or two. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get stuck in. Make sure before you leave this page, you click the link below to take you to the CTI website. Check out the latest challenges, check out the latest offers. If you're interested in any of the CTI challenges or instant funding or direct funding or want to find out a bit more, make sure you click the link below. So MK, thank you for joining me today. Today we are going to be learning all about you. And before we start, okay, I'm going to give this a good go. So, MK is short for Madhusudan Kandal.
Oh yeah, you got it perfect.
Come on, that's it. Off to a good start. MK for short. I can understand why you go MK for short.
That's right. Yeah.
Long name. It's a long name.
Yeah.
So, MK, thank you for joining us today, like I said. It's great to have you here. I was really looking forward. We had a chat the other day, and we're really looking forward to catching up with you because I think you are on a journey that I think a lot of traders are on. You are in an area that I definitely was not so long ago, to be fair. And you are currently going through the motions that I think lots of traders do, where you start to get a taste for the wins, you start to get a taste for the profits, and then something happens and sometimes it kind of tricks you, or you get lured into a false sense of security a lot of the time, don't you? With trading, right. You think, I've nailed it, I've got it. And our chat the other day was really, really interesting. So I think, what I love to do with these podcasts is make sure that they are really authentic. Make sure we're talking to real traders. Nobody wants to hear about any more Lambo owner, multi-millionaire, living in these massive mansions. They're few and far between, I think, in real life, ultimately. And I think most of them are hiring the cars and hiring the mansions simply to make sure it looks good on Instagram. Yeah.
Totally.
So you are a real trader just like me. You trade from your room. You've got, you're a very humble guy. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to finding out a bit more about you. So for anybody who doesn't know you, MK, introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about you, where you're from, what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you so very, very much for this all introduction and getting in touch with me, first of all. My name is Madhusudan Kandal, which is a long name, so you can call me MK.
You did it a lot better than I did.
Okay, I'm from India.
Yep.
And I was introduced to stock market almost like 15, 20 years ago. There is something called a demat account, a brokerage account that I used to open. So after my graduation, I started doing a different sort of jobs. So I did marketing, I did sales, I was in restaurant industry, I did a couple of businesses. So all sort of things. 10 years I was in job, then I jumped onto business, then it didn't work. So I go back to job again. When you do business once, then you want to get into business again and again.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you fail, but you just want to get into it. I failed. I did job for another couple of months or a year. I got some money saved up. I did business again. This time again, it did not work out, but it was in a breakdown situation. So I was doing a couple of things at the same time. So slowly and slowly, things just build up. I was doing everything in online space. And it's been almost 12, 13 years that I have been doing business, which is in digital marketing space.
Oh, wow.
Different sort of things in digital marketing, especially. Now, As I told you, I was introduced to stock market almost 15, 16 years ago when I opened people's account. I thought this is something very technical.
Yeah.
You need to have some maybe Oxford degree or Harvard degree,
Yeah.
or you have to be very good with technicals. You have to have knowledge about these uh, all these mathematic related things. So this used to be like rocket science for me. I
Yeah.
never even looked at it. I never even tried to get into it. That was the first thing. Second thing was, I heard from most of the people that stock market is a scam,
Okay.
and if you do it, you lose everything. You lose your family. You lose money, and most people actually end up doing a suicide. So that's the
Wow.
kind of notion I had.
Wow.
So I never got into it. Now in 2020, when this pandemic thing came, there was a buzz that there is a stock market thing going on. Market is going up, market is going down, and everybody was working from home. So same
Yeah.
like me, I was also working from home, and that's when I thought, let's just learn about it. Since because few quotes came in front of me, there are seven wonders, but eight wonders, as Einstein said, is the compounding effect. So all those things used to come in front of me. If you just put up maybe $10 or 10 euros or 50 euros or 100 euros or USD in an account, after 20 years, you will see a number which you cannot even imagine that this is real. You just say,
Yeah.
okay, this number shows so many zeros, such a big figure, but I don't think this is real. So that thing used to come every once in a while. I thought, let's just understand what stock market is and how exactly this works. And the best part is, especially after 2020, everything is available for free on the internet. If somebody really wants to learn anything, it's available right there.
Yeah.
I started looking on the internet, what kind of videos are there, what kind of tutorials are there, what kind of podcasts are there. I just looked at everything. And when I was looking on those things, I thought, yeah, it's possible. I can do it. And the second thing I saw, that was how many people really succeed in stock market or in this holistic game.
Yeah.
What I saw is 95% of the people lose money, 5% of the people make money. But those 5% people who make money, they make it like big, crazy, millions, a lot of money. But that's just a little figure. But then I checked what other fields are doing, which means sports industry, Hollywood, music industry, any field like NBA, for example, 0.003, 0.001, that's the success rate.
Yeah.
Hollywood, 1%, not even 1%. Most industries where people are doing exceptionally well, the percentage is not even 1% success.
Yeah, agreed.
And when I saw this stock market, the success is 5%. That's like amazing compared
it's a lot.
to many
It's much higher. Yeah, you're right.
So I thought, yeah, definitely any field that you get onto, be doctors, engineers, celebrities, Hollywood, anything, this has 5%. So I think I can jump onto this. And even if I do not reach that $1 billion mark, at least I can be somewhere. So out of that 5%, I can be maybe 1% of that 5%. That will still be $1 million.
Yeah.
So that's the calculation I had. So now in 2020, everything was going up. So since everything was going up, I started with swing trading because I knew that intraday, like 90% or 95% people lose money. But in intraday, again, out of those 5-10% who succeed, out of those 5-10%, even 90% of those people lose money.
Yeah.
So that was the kind of when I saw all these information, that's what I got to know that, okay, this is like you're driving a car on a regular road, which is swing trading, and you are driving a car, Formula One, that is intraday trading. So I started with swing trading. I put up some money in there and things started working. Things were good. I was making profits since everything was going up. Anything, even if I was buying just a crappy stock, that was also going up. So I was making money. After a couple of months, I thought, yeah, this is extremely easy. This is not difficult. And at the same time, after a few days or maybe a couple of months, I thought, okay, let's just try intraday now because I know how to do it. So let's just do it. Now the real game starts.
Yeah.
I started intraday trading and I started losing, even though the market was going up
Yeah.
The whole day, there is a green candle. I bought the stock, which was going up. Still, at the end, I ended up losing money. So what was happening? Then I started looking, what do I do? I saw, oh, VWAP is there. If I use VWAP, I'll make money. I did it. Maybe few trades right, again lost money. Then I saw Bollinger Band is there. Maybe try that. Again, the same thing. Moving averages are there.
Yeah.
So this is there, that, this, everything, so many indicator. But the first time when you see the indicator, you see like, oh, I got this holy grail. This is what I was missing. Those pro traders, they use this thing and that's why they make money. But any indicator I was using, I was just losing money. So 2020 swing trading, 1 year, I was like entirely, I was profitable because the most of the money I was making was from swing trading.
Yeah.
Intraday, I started after a couple of months, started losing money. In 2021, I lost money. 2022, halfish, I lost money again, lost like really good amount. Now, what happens is I work at night and this stock market is open in the daytime. So my time do not match because I'm generally sleeping. So I either trade in the second half, but that was not doing very well. So I was thinking, what should I do where I can trade and I can see the market, like when the market opens and whenever it's open, I can just track it and then I can do it right. So what is it that I can do in a correct way? I lost a couple of grands there in the Indian stock market by doing intraday trading, option trading. Now, intraday was still okay. I was losing little money. But the moment I started option trading, I was losing crazily because options just go haywire all the places.
Sure.
Now, since I was learning about the stock market, and if you see something on YouTube, then YouTube knows, okay, this is what you want. Let's just give you all the information with this thing. And let's just give you all sort of ads. That's when I got to see an advertisement which was about funded next. It just popped up and, oh yeah, you just spend $500 and you'll get $100,000. And I was like, wow, really? This is what I needed. Let's just do it. I did it. Immediately I failed. I thought, okay, then I searched what are the best prop firms. I failed there because they had a clause there about the news trading. You cannot do the news trading and all those things. So I was not very well aware about all those rules. Yeah. I just jumped onto it because those $100,000, that was more exciting part. So I lost money there. Then I searched all the companies. This couple of companies came in front of me, but City Trader Imperium was one of the oldest trading firms. All the rules were very simple, very easy to understand. I thought, okay, this is the firm now I'm going to start with, and let's see what happens. Forex market was something I was seeing it, and I was seeing, okay, it's open all 24 hours, 5 days, so maybe I can do it. I started doing the trading with City Trade Imperium. Maybe in just 2 or 3 months, I got my first account, which was 1 year ago.
Okay.
1 year ago, I got my first, I blown almost like 2 or 3 accounts. Yeah. And then I got my real account. But in just 15 days, I lost that account.
Wow.
Because you get overexcited and you're like, okay, now I got it. Now I'm going to do big and this, that. I lost that account. Since then, I have been losing account consistently for like 1 year. And like for last 6 months, 6 to 8 months, I have been doing trading with all the rules. I have all the rules written and I make sure that the moment I start my day, I read all the rules and then I start my day. So when I started beat this City Trade, beat a couple of firms also, I put in money. I ended up losing like almost close to maybe $10,000-$15,000. Wow. Almost like that. And the worst thing that I did, like a couple of months ago, I thought I have cracked it. Now I understand how even Forex market works. I took up a loan of some amount and in one go, I just got 4 different accounts in 4 different prop firms and the biggest account. The worst thing that I was doing, I was not going for 2 phase challenges. Instead of that, I was just going for 1 phase challenge, which is just a 5% drawdown, not even the 10% drawdown.
No way.
Yeah, 10% is always good, but I thought like if I take this 5% challenge, I can reach all the way to 2 million or all the way to 4 million. So I had this called calculation. I'll only take a trade which is 0.10 or 0.25 is the maximum risk size.
Yeah.
So if I take maximum of 50 trades or maximum of 100 trades, I knew that my winning percentage is almost close to 50-60%, little bit like that. So I can trade very well, and I'll end up making money because on, like, let's say if I've taken 100 trades, and on 100 trades I'm losing $100, and if I'm doing like 1:2, then I'm making $200. So on and on, I'm plus $100. That was the calculation. But the problem was I was losing money because every time it was never 0.25%. The actual risk that I had, I was just taking a trade with 1%, 2%, 3%. That's what it was happening. Now, recently, for last 6 months, what I have started doing is, first thing I did is I made sure that I won't take more than maybe like 2 trades in a day. That's the maximum.
Yeah.
There is one more thing. I used to not even aware that whenever the news comes, there is a big spike. I had no idea about that. So whenever I used to take trades, there will be some big spike and my stop loss gets hit and something happens. And I used to see like what exactly is happening, why this trade is going haywire. So then I got to know that, okay, there is a like calendar there. Now in City Trade Imperium also, you have this calendar where you can see the high impact news, small news and all that. You used to not have that. It's just like recently introduced to City Trade. But I used to see it in Forex Trade Factory. So I had that every day that, okay, this is the news timing. And whenever the news is coming, 45 minutes, no trade. So this is something I learned, and that actually helped me not losing money, especially in those timings when the news is coming. Now, for last 6 months, I'm following a couple of rules. And since I have started following the rules, which is the only key to get success in stock market, because only thing you need is 50%. Just fail. It's okay, perfectly fine. But 50% when you are making money, just make 1:2 or 1:3. So if 50 trades, each trade 100, you're losing money in 50 trades, you will just end up losing like $5,000. And remaining 50 trades, if you're just making $200 each trade, that's just like $10,000.
Yeah.
So 5,000 lost, 10,000 made.
Yeah.
In total, 5,000 plus. That's
classic
the
risk
only
management.
holy grail. Yes. So now I accept 50% of the time I'll be wrong.
Yeah.
I just accept it.
Yeah. Happy days.
So, yeah, that's what it is.
Well, look. What a story! What a story! I was sitting here in awe, just listening to you. You're like me. You love to chat, and that's great. And it's going to mean that this is going to either go really, really well, really, really badly. This podcast, I think, really, really well. So okay, let's dive into that a little bit. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I'm going to fire some questions at you now, okay? And I'm going to try to digest everything you just told me. It sounds like when you first started, you didn't really have any trading strategy. Would that be a fair assessment?
Right.
Yeah?
I had no strategy, nothing at all.
Really?
I was just jumping onto it.
So, talk me through then. Did you create a strategy by yourself, or did you ever have like a mentorship, or did you follow a famous structure like Wyckoff, supply and demand, ICT, anything like that?
Okay, I tried. When the journey started, I tried all sort of indicators, everything that you can think of.
That was the VWAP, Bollinger Bands, that sort of stuff.
Everything that's available. Moving averages, Bollinger Band, everything.
Did you find any success with any of them?
Not with any of them, because most of them are lagging indicators.
Yeah,
they
course.
tell you what
has
like
happened.
when the price has already moved, then they tell you, okay, buy it now. And when you buy, it's just reverse.
Here's a question for you. I got asked this the other day. I think it's a really interesting question. I think so many traders, they start off with indicators, okay? Yes, because look, you've got Tradingview. They kind of push these indicators on you to make their platform, I think with Tradingview, the more people that are using all their fancy indicators, the more people obviously log on to Tradingview. So I think it's really convenient for them to promote indicators. And I think, the general world is quite naive. Like you said, 95% of traders fail. And there's quite an interesting statistic to go along with that. So 95% of traders fail, you're quite right. 5% of them win. But remember, it's a zero sums game. So
Right.
the 95% of people that are losing, let's say there's $100 million, okay, being staked at any one moment. If 95% of people have lost, that's $95 million that have been lost. And the 5% that win are winning that $95 million off them, which is why it's such an incredible. And what happens ultimately is the 95 million that are losing are basically funding the 5% that are winning. So the 95% is really, really interesting. And, you know, the wins that the 95% are getting are the rare times that the 5% lose. So it's quite interesting to understand that. I'm glad you said that. But
And one more thing, can I say that? Out of that 5% who are winning, out of those 5%, maybe 3% or maybe 4% are the big players.
Yeah, of course,
institutions,
yeah.
FIIs, HNIs, people from Harvard, people from hedge funds, people who have connections, people who have insiding news, all sort of people. And the brightest people.
Yeah, of course.
1% people are those people who have just little knowledge about the world. So the way it's been packaged to people, that stock market or forex market, it's easy money. You can just crack it like this.
Absolutely.
You just come over, click 2 buttons and you make millions of dollars. But that's not what it is. The people that you are competing with, they are sharks.
Yeah.
So if you are going to get the food from the mouth of a shark, it's not going to be easy.
That's the exact analogy I use with my students. So I always compare it to the same thing. What we have to do as traders, and one of the big realizations for me when I realized, you know what, I'm doing this wrong. When I was trading retail patterns and EMA crossovers and that sort of thing in my early days, which I think I think so many traders go into in the early days. An analogy I was given was, what you want to do, what you need to realize is that the people that make money in the market are the sharks, okay? And what they're doing is they're swimming around and they're hunting for their kills. When they make the kill, okay, they leave a big footprint, okay? So just like a shark, when it attacks its prey, there's a mess in the ocean. And what it leaves behind is bits that we can go as the smaller fish and go and clean up. And that realization for me is actually what I need to do is I need to see when there's big sharks in the marketplace. And then when they make their move, so when the shark makes their kill, I just need to follow it. And I just need to pick up the crumbs that they left behind for me. And it was a really interesting light bulb moment. I was like, do you know what? I'm spending all this time trying to predict the marketplace. Actually, if you just wait, and I think any strategy works better like this, regardless of what it is. If you just wait for the market to clearly move in the direction that you want to trade and then follow it, you will be much more profitable. And I think so many traders fail these days because they are trying to predict the movements. They're trying to catch the top or they're trying to catch the bottom. They're trying to get into that reversal. Now, I'll catch the top. I'll watch it. And when it starts to move away from it, I'll then get in here. And once 100%. And it's that kind of desperation to be right first that I think screws so many traders up. But, ultimately we're doomed. The brokers, some of them anyway, we all know the ones that are the non-good ones. Brokers want you to fail because that's where they, effectively take your deposit off you. Okay. So, why do you think so many retail trading strategies out there? Why do you think there are so many strategies on YouTube based around retail patterns and indicators? Well, it's because 95% of those people on YouTube are still failing. And they've realized that actually, do you know what? I can make a lot more money out of getting 1 million views on YouTube than I can on, actually making trading. I do all my education for free. So I have 150 students in my Discord mentorship. It's completely free. Those of you watching this at home, you can go onto my Instagram at StrongMoneyForex. You can log in and you'll get a link to it today and you get free coaching from me. I offer that to absolutely everyone. And I think this, if you are a successful trader, you're probably a bored trader and you have more free time to help other people out. And if you know how difficult it is and you're a good person, you will want to help people for free. And that's what I want to try and do. Anybody who's charging you for a course or a boot camp or a mentorship, just be cautious because they're funding something. And if they're successful traders, they should be on the way to be multimillionaires. So they don't probably need your $100 a month because really in the grand scheme of things, it's not making that much difference. And that's I think there's a YouTube channel going around at the moment who's debunking all of the big trading gurus, which is quite interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of visibility now in the marketplace of who you can and can't trust. But we're ultimately doomed. It's you've got these companies that are kind of pitted against us to try and make us lose effectively because they profit out of that, and you've got to be really, really careful. I do think, however, there is a journey that every trader goes on, where you start off following these basic retail strategies, and then you maybe go into something more advanced. I call it phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1 is retail. Phase 2 is things like supply and demand and Wyckoff. And then phase 3 is when you really understand how the market moves and why the market moves, and that's when you start making money. And I think every trader has to go through it, right?
Yes, that's right. That's what it is.
It's a rite of passage.
Okay, all right. So let me just tell you about this thing that you talked about. These courses that people are doing, Telegram people are saying, WhatsApp people are sending, signals people are giving you, all sort of things. So most people who are doing this, they are hardly making any money.
Absolutely agree.
They are just showing off. They are maybe renting cars, renting things, making these P&Ls using all sort of Photoshop and then showing things to you. That's the first thing. Second thing is, nobody wants to do the hard work.
No.
If you tell them, read a book. No, sorry. This is the time for reels. I am going to see the reels, and everybody is having a Lamborghini, so that's what I want. That person is giving me this course of 4 weeks, and in just 4 weeks I'll start earning like him.
I'll be a millionaire.
Millionaire. Yeah, that's what it is. So nobody wants to give that time.
No.
That's the first part. And this is with the big chunk of people. They do not want to give that blood, sweat, and everything to it. 100% commitment. They are not ready to do that. So that's the reason these people are making money, because people are lazy.
Yeah.
That's the reason these people are making money. People are lazy. Second point is, what exactly these people are showing in most cases, when the market has already closed, that's when they cherry pick some of the charts. They show you that, okay, I bought this here when the VWAP happened, and I bought this here when this moving average happened. This is the magic indicator. You follow this, and this is you make this money. But the market has already closed, and when the market has already closed, you can just see everything and show everything to people, and they'll say, this is the indicator. This is what I have to follow.
This is how it works.
But when the actual market is running, the moving average or any indicator, it doesn't work like that. You don't know where that line will go, what indicator is going to show. So you have to see, and then, because there is two more important parts. One is the risk management. Second is the psychology.
Yeah.
Strategy is just a tiny part of it.
Yeah.
Just a tiny part. These are the two most important parts. So if there is an analogy about tossing these 100 coins, and out of those also, if you see all those 100 coins, you'll see 40% results. So if you actually see, and if you are actually making 1:4, and if your accuracy rate is just 30%, even then also you will end up making money.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're just doing 1:4 or 1:3. So that's what it is.
And I think, you said it earlier about, having these set rules and your trading being so successful since you've had those rules. I think, it's so important. And, my worst trading days, even sometimes I'll have bad trading days now. I think, we're all guilty of it. But my worst trading days are the days that I haven't followed my rules. And what we have to remind ourselves is that the rules keep you safe. I think so many traders, when they've been doing it a long time, like you and I, they trade so much on feel. You see something in the marketplace that looks like it should be or could be really good, and you get excited. You think, oh, do you know what? This is that time I catch the top, and it's going to drop 100 pips, and I'm going to make 40R on this trade. And then it fails, and then you take a step back and you look. And so, you said you have a checklist on your wall, is it? I have a checklist on my phone. Right. And for me, what I do is every time I trade now, if I'm taking a trade, especially on a funded account, challenge account, or whatever it may be, I'm a little bit more flexible if I'm demo testing or something like that. But if I'm trading on something that's live that has a financial gain for me, I just do my checklist. There's 6 points on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I've met all 6, I'm good to go. And there was times where I'd be happy trading with only 3 of my points met. But then sometimes those trades would fail and it would frustrate me. So now I'm a bit more selective, and I might miss out on the odd trade here or there. But actually, the ones that I take that meet all 6 of my checklist actually make me more money consistently. And then, like you said, good risk management is all you need. 1 to 2 with a 50% win rate, which is pretty easy to do. I mean, I think you could probably, I watched something the other day where a geezer, he went into a chart and he was placing random trades at 1 to 1.5, completely random. And he tested it over a period of like a year, and he placed 1 to 1.5 trades completely randomly, and he won and made money. And there was no strategy to it whatsoever, like zero strategy.
That's totally true. That's the game. If you see, most people, and most of the time, I'm also guilty of that we keep looking at strategies. We just keep looking at strategies for the first, maybe at least first year, because for the first year, there is a lot.
Yeah.
It's not easy. There is a lot. You have to understand everything. Yeah. Because there are books, there are indicators, there are like limit orders, market orders, brokerage, all sort of brokerage, forex, commodities. What do I do? What kind of style I pick up? Is it scalping? Is it swing trading? Is it intraday trading? In intraday trading, what kind of time zone I pick up? What kind of lot size I pick up? How much capital I put in? Should I put in small capital, big capital? Because everyone wants to get rich really quick.
Yeah,
so that's when it takes time to understand what do I have to do. But within that 1 year, you understand just the basic terminologies of the market. In second year, you lose a lot of money. But like, see, first year in like at least starting months, you have this thing called luck. Yeah. And it is there. Yeah. When you have no knowledge, you make money. You just make money and you think like, okay, I just know it's an easy thing. But then the real game starts when you put in the big money in the market. Yeah. Because that's when you know just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. But that little bit, you think it's a lot. Yeah. And then you start goofing up and start losing money. But then after 2 years, it used to be 5 years and 10 years, like when I read the books long time ago. But now after 2020, it's just 2 years that you have to give 100% to the markets. Even if you take like, let's say 3 years. 3 years is most of the courses. Any degree that you take, any degree, most of them are 3 years or 4 years. In fact, engineering, 4 years, doctor, 6 years, 8 years. And after that, you do for training. And then after that, you go for job. So on and on. Most of the professional jobs that anybody do takes around 6 to 8 years to just get a decent kind of payout.
Absolutely.
In stock market, from the first day, people want to make like hundreds, and only thing that's easy in stock market is opening the account.
Yeah, that's it. It's a really, really valid point that you make on, the work that you've got to put in. People aren't prepared to do the hard work. In a way, you can't really blame them because they are sold the dream that it is going to be a quick and easy thing to learn. As we both know, it's just absolutely not, which is really, really interesting. Psychology is this thing that's thrown around quite a lot as well. And look, you have to master your psychology, but mastering your psychology is presented to people like it's something that you can achieve quickly. And for me, I read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Look, it's a good book. It gives you some good framework on things, and it gives you some good understanding of things as well. Can I be honest with you? Right. I don't think it's as great as everyone makes out. I didn't read it and come away from it and think, do you know what? My psychology is now sorted. For me, what got my psychology good is spending hours and hours and hours and days and months and years at the charts, understanding price action and how pairs move, working out what works, working out what doesn't work, doing back testing, probably not as much back testing as I should have done. And still, I don't do as much back testing as I should be doing now. But experience in the marketplace gives you confidence in your strategy. That is what can fix your psychology. Reading a book by Mark Douglas or Jesus or anyone else will make no real difference to your psychology. It might give you some framework or some foundation that you can work with. But with the greatest respects, the only way you can master your psychology in Forex is by practicing over and over and over again. For example, when you first step into a car for the first time, those first couple of drives are really scary. But eventually, over time, you get to a point where it becomes more comfortable. And now, sometimes I'll drive home from work and I won't even remember how I got home because it's so second nature. Right?
That's subconscious mind knows when to brake, what speed, and all that.
That's it.
Right.
And that's what builds that confidence. And that's what you have to do in trading. You need to spend enough time in the marketplace and enough time practicing your strategy. When people go, oh, I'm nervous about this, or it's not working, or this, that, and the other, when students come to me and say, well, this isn't working, and my psychology's effed up or whatever it may be, I'm just like, you need to test it more. Because if you had taken Euro USD and you tested your strategy over the last 5 years, and you'd shown that every single trade that you took over the last 5 years had a 60% chance of winning, you would never fear taking a trade anymore, because you would be so confident in what you did. And that is how I think any trader should master their psychology. But it's like the buzzword now, isn't it? You go onto YouTube and it's like, master your trading psychology, and you think watching a 7-minute YouTube video is going to fix it. Nothing's going to fix it but hard work, and people aren't prepared to do the hard work, and that's the simple fact.
That's totally true. 100% agree with this. Psychology, that's right. These 3 things, most of the people say: risk management, strategy, and psychology. But yes, the most important part, as you said, anything you start doing, basketball, football, cricket, anything that you do, like first day, the moment you get into a swimming pool, you get scared. You don't know how to
100%,
swim.
yeah.
But after a few days, you don't even know that it's just like 15 feet and you're just standing there.
Yeah.
You're not even like moving your hands, moving your legs, nothing. You're just standing, and everybody's seeing, what the hell is this person doing? He's not even swimming. So that's like your subconscious mind knows how to control the body. That's the reason the rules are very important, that after 1 year or 2 year, and especially 3 year, because after 3 years, you can say, okay, I have graduated.
Yeah.
You have seen all kind of things. You have seen extreme pain where you should have taken a small position, but you took a big position because you thought, oh, you know what? My risk tolerance is, let's say, $50, but I'm going to put $500, because if I put $500, this is going to make me $5,000. That's the calculation. You're thinking about the profits. And since you're thinking about the profits, that's when the most of the goof up happens.
Absolutely.
In the initial time, most people, in fact, me, have been just thinking about the profits, not what I'm going to lose. I have been just thinking about what is it that I'm going to make. And that's when I do not know. So that pain that you go through, you lose a big account, that pain is there. Second time you lose it, there is pain, but this time you are like, okay, the next time I'm not going to do that. Third time, 4 times, 5 times. Then you have to think like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Every time I have all the things in place, it just falls apart. That's when you start thinking that, okay, rules are important. You write what the rules are and see your real character. Whatever you are, if you are impulsive, your impulsive nature will be shown in the charts.
Absolutely.
If you have been like pro trader trading for a long time, the moment you see journal of anybody, you'll know what this person has been doing. If he's greedy, if he's impulsive, if he just overtrade, what kind of trader this person is. In fact, after a couple of, when I see my trades, which I took like a year ago or 2 years ago, I can see this was my nature. I used to be greedy, I used to be impulsive, I used to have FOMO there. So all those things were there. But now I'm understanding what kind of nature I have. How do I react when a big candle is there, when there is a CPI news, when there is a FOMC news? How do I react when there are 6 green candles? What do I do when there are 2 consecutive stop losses or 3 consecutive stop losses? What do? I just double my position, or I just take the position which is 5 times of my original size, or I just put in all the money. So all those things, after a long time, you understand that, okay, these are the rules I have to follow. Like if I had to take one trade, I have to divide my position sizing into 2, or I have to divide my position sizing into 3. If I have to take the trade, like you have 6 signals, like at least I have to get this tick, 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 and then you take the trade. Same like that. If I have A setup, A plus setup, A plus plus setup, so this is the way I'll be trading. If I have this setup, I'll put $50 there. If I have this setup with 3 confirmations, I'll take like maybe $100. If I have there is a news also at the same time, there is a big day also coming, there is a sideways market, so there is a possibility that a big move is going to come. Like Mondays, sometimes big move comes, but most of the time big move comes on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. So I have to be prepared that Monday is going to be a little choppy. I see what's going to happen. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll see a chart which is being prepared. I see at least a couple of confluences. I make my strategy accordingly. And this time when I'm going to hit, I'll hit with at least 3x my position size, which should be maybe 1% or 1.5% or maximum 2%, which I used to do maybe 3% or 4% of the actual size. That let's say if I have a 100K account, but the actual size of the account is $10,000. I used to see it as 100,000, but now I don't see it. Now I don't see it as drawdown. Right. Yeah, that's the now I see it as I just have 10,000. That's what the size is. Out of that 10,000, can I take 40 trades or can I take 50 trades? I'm not that bad of a trader that I'll lose all the 50 trades. So at least let me just understand 0.5 is the max, like is the minimum I can go with, or sometimes 0.25, but in most cases it's a 0.5. And if the trade is giving me again another signal, again another signal, again another signal, I'll just keep adding and I'll go up to 1.5 and so on. I just start trading.
Nice. And I think, that kind of trader mindset that you've built, that only comes with risk. And there's a lot of issues these days with what I call demo blindness, where you trade on demo. You have no fear of any loss. So you over leverage or you over position or you take just trades for the sake of it. And the losses teach you nothing, but the wins teach you or fool you into thinking that you're a better trader than you are. And I remember a really interesting quote a little while ago that when you win, you learn nothing but arrogance. When you lose, you learn lessons. And it's really interesting because some of my worst weeks have come after a winning streak. After I've had these fantastic weeks where I'm massively in profit, I then start making decisions being like, well, it's Friday, I've had a great week. It doesn't quite meet my rules, but do you know what? I'm in profit. And I had to slap myself sometimes being like, what are you doing? But I was really guilty in the past because I was really reluctant to go live. So I demo traded loads and loads and loads. And I came out of demo trading thinking that I was a really good trader, but actually I was a terrible trader. I didn't fully appreciate the mental game of a loss, and the wins were giving me this false sense of security. So what you've learned and taught yourself, you've only learned in live market conditions ultimately. And I think that's really important, is that once you've got a bit of a strategy and you've got some rules in place, obviously in an ideal scenario, you would learn strategy, demo test strategy, back test strategy, go live. That would be an ideal structure, but very few traders actually follow that. But the key, I think, is to make sure that you do go live as quickly as possible. Okay, not to lose money, but to learn the pressure of fearing the loss and making sure that you respect the losses. Trading in the Zone, sorry to keep going on about it, but that book teaches you to not fear the losses. But I feel like you do actually need to fear the losses. You have to accept that they're part of it, but you have to be scared of losing your money. Otherwise, you're just going to burn your money. And if you have no fear, you're going to trade like you're on a demo account, and you're probably going to then trade badly, aren't you?
That's right. And you should be thinking about the loss, then profit. First, think about the loss, and then only jump onto anything else.
Agreed. Now, on that note, I think it is about time to jump onto the charts, because I'm really excited to learn a little bit more about how you trade and your trading strategy. So if we can open up your Tradingview, please, MK. And we're going to have a look at a couple of trades, how you set up your charts, and show the viewers what you've taught yourself over these years.
I only trade in these pairs, which are major pairs. I do not go with other pairs, no exotic, nothing else. So these are the only things. I have traded with US30 a lot, but not trading anymore, because these are the pairs that suits me like really well. So there are, see, what I follow is price action, support and demand, trend lines, and all sort of patterns that's available, be it 1 to 3 pattern, head and shoulder pattern, stop run, liquidity grab, all those patterns. So let me just show you just a couple of trades here. With the indicator. So it would be easy for maybe beginners. Like as we started the conversation, I said indicators do not work. I use 2 indicators, which I'll be sharing, and that's going to help maybe a lot of retail traders to understand how do I go about it. Now, what I do is, let's say this is the indicator part. Let's say, let me just close this and let me go to this. Now, when I go to this, you see this one which says Rob Booker, this one. Yeah. So let's say we click on it, and when we click on it, it's going to show up right there. We go to settings, and in settings, what we have is like, we need this as 200. So the bars that we want to look for is 200 bars is the minimum we want. Second thing we want is the RSI, which shows us the strength. Third thing we want is the momentum, what kind of momentum we have. So these are three things, easy settings, and then we start. Now we did this. What we'll do is, first what we can do is we can go to 4-hour chart. And when we go to, like, we can start it from any place, whatever. Whenever you say stop, I'll just stop.
Okay, there, stop.
Okay, stop, perfect. So, okay, now I'm here, 4-hour chart. Let's say this is the chart that I'm seeing right now. And what I saw over here, this chart, like you see, there are a couple of lines like this.
Yep.
Okay, and these lines are formed automatically. So this was a low trend. The trend was going low. It was coming all the way low. So first thing you need to know is where is the support and demand. This is extremely, extremely important. You should know where the support is, where the demand is. So let's say this is the point that we are looking at, where we have this thing showing us indicator. Now, if we go on, like, let's say, whenever this thing is placed, what exactly we are going to see, whenever this thing is placed, there is a possibility that because we had three things here. One was strength, one was momentum, and total 200 bars. It came all the way down. Now we know that the strength has gone. Now it came all the way down, strength has gone. Now there is a possibility that it will go up.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Now, whenever we see this, we put a mark there, and after that, what we do is we will like see it on weekly chart and monthly chart also. So let's say if I put it on, let's say daily, let's just put it on daily. And if I see, is there like anything? No, I don't see it. So let's see, go to weekly. Where do we have it? Okay, we have it right over here. Now, if somebody has a knowledge of supply and demand, at least they'll know that over here, we have a great point, like amazing support point from where the market might go up. If you see it, this was the point, this was the point.
Yeah.
And then this was one resistance, if you see it nicely. And then this is the point. And I'm looking at weekly, which is extremely, extremely heavy support. Now what I do is I go back to that 4-hour thing. And now when we go to that, we'll see where that is. Okay, so this is the point. Now we know that weekly, there is a crazy support. That's one. Two, it has fallen down a lot. So there is a high probability that people are going to book the profit. They have an amazing profit right now, so they are going to book it. That's two. Three, we need to see what kind of day it is. If you see, that's a Thursday and that's a Friday. So the entire week, there was a like bearish market, and there is a possibility whenever the market reverses, it mostly reverses from Friday or from Monday. Friday, it shows some sort of choppiness or a trend reversal, and then from Monday, there is again some choppiness, and Tuesday and Wednesday, it shows us a good move. This strategy that I'm talking about, this trade might go for maybe a day, maybe 2 days, or maybe 3 days, but it will give you amazing risk to reward. Okay. So this is what we have seen. That's the first thing. Now, second thing, what we'll see is if we have just a little bit of knowledge about trend lines and everything, what we'll do is we have this 4-hour, so we got it. Second thing, what we'll do is we go back to 1 hour. So now when we go to 1 hour, I put it very, very back. So let me see where that thing was. Oh, well, it's not showing me. Oh, you have gone really back. Okay, I'll show you maybe on any other chart which is a little forward than this, because I'm using just a free version.
See if you can get it on the 2 hour.
Okay, let's just do it on 2 hour. Even though on 4 hour also we had it like that, but let's just do it on 2 hour. Okay, so what we have, we can see that first thing was on 4 hour, we have this line, which means momentum has faded. strength has faded. And third thing is there is a possibility since all these people who have got a good profit, they are going to book the profit. So that's the psychology. Second point is now since we have this, there is a possibility that it's going to go up. Now, first we got this line. Second, we have a trend line break. When we have this trend line break right over here, either we can jump over here with a 50% position.
Okay.
Or what we can do is, since what happens is it just doesn't go up like that. It always, whenever the trade will go in any position, first time there will be a fake out, and then second time it will give you a confirmation. So whenever, if I want to go up, I want to go up with first green candle. I want to see at least a couple of red candles or maybe one red candle, and then when again there is a green candle which shows bullishness, that's when I want to get into the trade. So there was a green candle, there is a trend line, there is a line like this Booker line that we have. Booker line is first indicator, trend line is the second indicator, third indicator is green, and then red, and then green. So all these things. Fourth thing is we have a support. So we have 4 confirmations so far. Now on over here, if you see over here, I'm going to jump onto the trade right over here. Now this could be my stop loss because this is what it was. And now from this place, what I'll do is I'll just write this trade. Either I'll write this trade for 4 hour, which for one generally I use 1 hour, but since that 1 hour is showing us the limitations, let's just look at it at 2 hour. So on 2 hour, what I'll do is whenever another line will show up. So let's say another line showed up over here. You see this one?
Yep.
Yeah. So either we'll 50% like remove, like get out of this position here, or if we have knowledge about support and resistance and the patterns. So if you see there is a wedge, and since there is a wedge, there is a high probability that this can go to last resistance. And if you see, this was the resistance, so it went all the way up over here. So this was like the second target. And if you see, there are a couple of head and shoulders that we can see, or if you call these things, in fact, where do we have this? Okay, basically like we have a couple of head and shoulders here and there. This one, and then this one, like this cup and handle, again this cup and handle. So we can see if anybody who knows about cup and handle or head and shoulder, they will always see trades like this, that okay, this is where it can easily go. So that's the reason one has to know about the patterns. Not all the indicators, at least the patterns, that if there is a cup and handle, where can it go? So this was first target, like this one. Let's say we put it over here, and if you see, right, there is some sort of a resistance here, and this was the first pattern. And there was also like this great resistance. Now the second thing is, if we see from this point also, then we see there is another one. So there are a couple of ways to exit out of this position. First position, we can exit here. Second position, we can exit on this point. So this way, we can just write this trade. You can see it's just keep going and going and going. And this will be a crazy. And this last point that we had when the trend line break happened was this point. So we could easily, if we want to do this swing trading, we can easily get 1:4 or 1:5 on this trade. And we can just put it there. And within this trade, we can have multiple trades also if we want. On 15 minutes or 30 minutes, we can do those trades. But this is a very easy trade. And see, the best part that I'll show you is, if we do the trading on 4 hour, I'll show you like there are many trades. If you see it like 50% success rate, let's say we have it one here, and if you see like from here, it did not go up. So this was a stop loss. But from this point, again, it went up. So there was easily 1:2. From this point, it did not go up. Now, if you see it correctly, was there any support? What was the pattern? This was the head and shoulder. So it's coming down. Is there like any stop there? So these are the things that we have to look for. Is there a trend line break here? No, there is no trend line break. If we put this one, and then if we see this, is there a trend line break? The same thing happened earlier. When I showed you here. So first thing was this, second thing was trend line break, and then it went up. The same thing over here, we see this, and then it went up. Even on like if we see somewhere else, let's say on this one, It was all going up, but if we see 4R right over here, look at this. We got this and there was a crazy resistance. And since there was a resistance, again this thing, and the third thing is, like we put this trend line, it came down, went up, gave us the confirmation, broke this, and then it came down. So if we see even this one, again, we take, let's say, this trade on green, red, green, and we take it over here. And if we take maybe 1:2, we can get it on this level or that level. So again, 1:2. Then again, it's going down. Over here, we want to take it, we take it. Otherwise, we don't see this trend line break. We don't see this trend line break, so we are not going to get inside this trade. Now, again, this one, again, it came down. Do we see any trend line break? Here, yes, we see a trend line break. We took, let's say, if we take the trade, there is a stop loss. We are out of the trade, so nothing. But now, this was the first strategy. 4R Booker. Second is a trend line. So these are two things, and third is green, red, green. If we are going for up, if we are going for down, then the same thing applies. Like let's say, let's look for, like we look for this bearish trade, but let's look for any other trade that we have. So let's say we had this trade over here. First one was there, but it did not come down, and second one was here. So if you see this one, we have to see a couple of things here. So this one, and then we have this trend line break. Came down, went up. This was the area that we wanted to see if the trade is going to go down. Green, red, we take the trade here. Let's say stop loss is going to be this point. So let's say this is where we take the trade. This is the stop loss, and you can see what kind of trade it was. And we did not see anything. So it was that's the reason we need to know what kind of patterns are also there about support and resistance and all that we have to see on 1 hour chart. So this is 4R, and then when we jump on to 1 hour, we'll see another trades. Like, so this was first one. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's brilliant. That gives us a really, really good insight. Thank you.
Perfect. So this is something maybe a lot of retailers who just wants to see some magic indicator. This indicator, I don't think so a lot of people use.
No, I've never seen anything like it before. It's pretty cool.
Right. So very few, because see, it's a combination of RSI, it's a combination of momentum, and it's a combination of 200 bars. So it has
it's
everything.
Almost kind of showing you divergence, really, isn't it? Like almost like a classic RSI divergence where you're using a couple of indicators together to show you where price is weakening effectively.
That is true. But why I said only indicator is not going to work? You have to have knowledge about different patterns. What kind of pattern is there? What kind of support is there? What kind of trend line is there? What's the resistance? All those things, if you have, then it gives you edge. So let's say if we only trade with this Booker and trend line, it's going to give you at least 50% or 60% success rate, because as we can see, some of the trades are failing. Like if you see over here, this trade gave us this line, but it did not break this level. So it's a failing trade. This one gave us the line, it took the trade. So some of the trades will fail. So this is the first one. Now, the second one that we can jump onto, that's like following the trend also at the same time while we are getting this.
Yeah.
Which is this indicator. So let's say if we go to indicators, and if we are looking for this one, which is CPR, this PVR, pivot point CPR with MACD high and low. This is the indicator that we are looking for. So let's say if I cross this, and if I put this, then this is the indicator we have got. Now this indicator looks all like there are so many support and resistance lines. So the people who do not have a good knowledge about support and resistance, there are two ways we use support and resistance. Let me just close everything. Okay, one way we use it is just the standard pivot that we use. Second way, which is like at least a little higher version of those pivots and support resistance, the people who are not aware of how do I follow the trend, then this is what it is. Now, what exactly it has? Let me also first show you, and then we'll go further. It has daily pivots. It has weekly, monthly, day high, day low. So what I usually use is weekly. Weekly is turned on, monthly is turned on, weekly high and weekly low. This is what I use. Now, when I go to weekly chart, this is weekly middle range, which is the pivot range that we can see in any indicator that we use. There is a up line and back down line, and then these are the resistance level and these are the support levels. Now what do I want to show you with this? Let's say this is the indicator that we are seeing. So let's just go back to 1 hour. Now we'll start from any point. Now what we want to see is we want to see that this middle range that we have, first way to see it is like we have just the regular pivots that we follow, which has just 1 line, 2 line, 3 line. But this is like a range. It shows us a range here. So if there is a range, we'll see like how if it's up or if it's down. That's what we have to see. So let's say on 4 hour, first thing is if we go to 4 hour, we'll see this will just give us like a little edge if somebody do not have knowledge about the other stuff. Then let's say if we are looking at 4 hour, let's say this one, let's just take the recent one. So this is 4 hour. So I put a point there, and then what I want to see is I want to, let's say, take it back to 1 hour. Okay, now where is it? Okay, it's right there. So what we'll see is it just came, there was a line on 4 hour. On the 1 hour there is no line. 4 hour there was a line. So it came down, it went up, and then it started coming down. So basically what we want to see is if the trade is below this central range, then we want to look for short opportunities. If this is up, then we'll want to look for buying opportunity, like over here. Let's say there was a downtrend, it was all coming down. This was the first break. Then this is above this level, and since this is above this level, we are going to take a trade somewhere here, and then we are going to follow it. It's still up there. It's still up. So we are going to take a trade here, and there will be a stop loss right exactly below this middle range. Always there is a stop loss either below this middle range or below this level. So we are going to take trades like that. This is second level. Now, since it was going up, so we were taking trades like that. Now, if it's coming down, then we are going to take trades for the lower trend. So it's coming down, then going down, and then going down, and then going down. So this is what it is. Now here, there is a trend that's going to change. So we'll go accordingly. So this is second way too, but this indicator is something which takes a lot of time. So there is maybe a book that I might recommend you. Somebody wants to learn. This is an amazing indicator. If anybody who do not have a good knowledge about support and resistance and the patterns, then they can go with Secret Boss with Frank Ochoa. This is the book, Secret of Pivot Boss.
Yeah.
And this has all the information, how support resistance works and all that. So this is the second trade that we can think about. And otherwise, the most important thing is definitely all this patterns that we have. Let's say if we have had in like this flag pattern over here, and if somebody has the knowledge about, see, in earlier days when I used to trade, there was one very big mistake that I have done like many times, hundreds and hundreds of times, that if the market is going up, I want to take a short trade. If the market is going down, I want to take a trade for the bull run. That has happened with me many times. Even though there is a cliche line that says trend is your friend. I have heard it. You have heard it. Everybody has heard it. Trend is your friend. But most of the time what happens is if the trend is going up, what we think like, oh, it has gone so much up, it's not going to go up anymore. Oh, it has gone, like it has come down so much down, so it's not going to go down anymore. That's how mostly we want to look the market. But if we see the market like that this is where the big players are interested. Big players have moved the market there. There is a flag there. There is a breakout happening here. So if we put a stop loss, then this flag that we see like this, because generally that's the way how a flag works. This, if we see, and if we put it right there, then we'll see the trade is going all the way to that point. You just see it, right? It's right there. So all these patterns that we see, if we have a knowledge about that, like I'll just show you a big one, like the recent trade that I just took. I'll show you how exactly the patterns can work. Just this was a recent trade I just took, like, which helped me passing the challenge in just few trades. So let's say this was a support level. Okay, there is, if I show you, where is that pencil I have? Okay, I can't see it. All right, it's okay. So see, if you see right over here, this is one head.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one shoulder. This is head, and then this is another shoulder. You can see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one can see this after doing so many trades. That's one confirmation that there is a possibility it's going to go up first.
Sure.
Second confirmation is it has came down. There is a trend line break. We take it here, we take it here, we take it here. We can take it from any place that we want. So this is the second confirmation. This I'm talking about for a bigger move. Okay. Now, whenever if we learn about the charts, and we'll see like, okay, this is the head, and what we want to see is this. So this is what we are going to see. This is the chart. There is a head and shoulder there. There is a break that has happened on the trend line. Whatever profits bears had, they already booked it, and now bears are not able to take the market low any longer. Now the bulls are getting control, and now they are going to take it up. Now when we see this, now we can take trades which can give us 1:5, 1:6, and like really big trades.
Yeah.
Now if you see this, if we take the trade here or here, it will just give us like a bigger trend. And out of this trade, we can have so many small trades also. And those small trades we'll be able to take when we have knowledge about support, resistance, and all that. Like we took the trade here, let's say we cut it here because there is a resistance. And plus, if whenever there is a big move gonna come up, it's not just gonna go all the way up. It will at least slow down a little bit. Now, if we have knowledge about Fibonacci, this is like, let's say Fibonacci. Now, if we put it from this point to this point, in most cases, if there is an uptrend, it comes mostly to 50%. But if there is a very, very big move about to come, then it will come down to 618. Then some move will show up, and then it will go all the way up. So that's again another tool that one can use. So combination of Fibonacci, trend line, patterns, this gives us like a really great move. Otherwise, for strategy wise, that 4-hour strategy that I shared with 1 hour, that's a great one. Otherwise, this CPR that I told you about, if somebody reads that book, it will give that information a lot. It's a extremely like a little complicated software, but once some indicator, but when somebody knows about it, slowly it tells them where they have to take the trade.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for that, MK. It's been really, really insightful. Before I go through to our closing questions, okay, because at the end of each podcast, what we do is we go through some questions, and I'm really interested in finding out each trader's answers to these questions and how they differ from one to the next. But before I do that, I want to find out a little bit more about CTI. So we've probably got about 10 minutes left, just so you know, okay? So let's talk about CTI. Now, you said you did some research. You found CTI as one of the most long-standing prop firms in the marketplace and one of the most respected and recommended. What was it you saw that made you feel that way?
See, first thing was it was old, like one of the oldest prop firms that's available. Right
I'd go with long-standing because old makes it sound like it's past.
Yeah, I mean,
long-standing.
Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah, long standing, because many prop firms are just coming and vanished in just few days. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one was they were not having so many rules. They did not make it complicated. It was like now every prop firm which is coming, they all are coming up with no limitation on news, limitation on weekends, no limitation on EAs, and many other things. But CTI, when I was doing the research, I saw that this company had very few limitations. And the best part is, with other company that I traded, I just did one mistake, which I was not even aware of. They just terminated me.
No way.
But this company, they have as far as I know, and I read the rules earlier, they have 3 chances. Even if you make a mistake, by mistake, you did not put up a stop loss, and they see you have done something wrong, they'll speak to you. They want to know if you did it intentionally or that was just accidental, and they give you another chance. So this thing hardly happens with like just few trades, because the way most prop firms are making money, as far as I know, are making money from those traders who are losing.
Correct.
So yeah, the big chunk is losing, so they are getting money, and if somebody is making money, then they have to give like a big amount of money. So very few prop firms really want to make sure that somebody is actually making money. They just want to see that everybody failing. Like the recent example we had with MFF. something just came up. So that's happening with like a lot of trade firm. But with this company, I saw like 100% share. Why? Because their long-term goal is that if you make money, we make money. We
Absolutely.
just copy your trade when you reach that level, because when
Yeah.
you reach that level, that's when at least you are doing the best trades. Maybe one trade a week, two trades a week, but you're taking the best trades. So if they are just putting a copy on your trade, they do not want just the 10% of that bit. They want the 100%. So they'll take a trade with their own position sizing. That's the initial conversation I had when I started the trading with the City Imperium. Yeah, and these
Yeah.
are a couple of things I liked. I went through this Trust Pilot. I saw those reviews. I saw all of that. And the thing is, when I started trading, as I said earlier, in just initial phase, in just 2-3 months, I got my first account approved. And within few days, I got my money back. Like that initial money that I paid for buying the challenge, that money just came back to my credit card.
Amazing.
And I was like, okay, this company is giving the money back. That means it's legit. Everything is fine. Things are going to happen. So that's what happened. And since then, it's been like 1 year. I lost many accounts and all that, but there is a trust.
Yeah.
Because I paid something, I got that money back, so I know that this company is paying. And yeah, so that's what
Fantastic. It's great to hear. So if you don't mind me asking then, and you can either choose to answer this or not, what are you trading with CTI at the moment? What do what have you got? Are you on a 50K, 100K? What account do you use?
It was 100K account.
100K. Okay.
Which I passed in.
You're live now? You've got a live account?
I got a live account, and I got it on like just 4-5 days. It was 11th when I got it. I got the credentials on 11th of December.
Yeah.
And on 14th of December, I even passed it in just
Amazing.
3 days. So now I'm on this 112 K account. So yeah.
And you're expecting then, so let's say you made no more trades now. What would be your payout on that amount?
80%, which is
80%.
I suppose, yeah, 80%, and
10K.
100%, yeah.
That's a lovely little payday, hey?
Yeah, it was, and not expecting in just 3 days. I was thinking like I'll take 2 months, I'll take a small trades, I'll do this, did that. But this last week was crazy. Like there was CPI, FOMC, everything was there, and the chart was falling like really well. Everything was putting like I saw like okay, there is an opportunity for 125. So. That's just, I got the right trade, so I got it.
And that's the beauty of, I think, trading with prop firms, especially when you find a good company like CTI, where you know your money's safe, you know you're going to get your payouts, is that, I think you said at the start of the call, you put about $10,000 into challenges, and you spent, however long losing those accounts, blowing those accounts. Now, in just a few days, you've made that money back. And that covers all of those losses.
That's the beauty. I lost almost close to $15,000 or something.
Yeah.
See, the best part is I had that money because I have a different income. I am doing a business. I'm getting income from there, even though there was a lot of frustration that I'm getting money from somewhere and I'm just putting like a part of it in this trading, and every time I'm losing. So there was this internal battle that keeps happening. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I really going to succeed? But there was one thing I always had, that no matter what, 5% of the people are successful, I know I can be that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's the simple thing. So this is the beauty. In just 2 days or 3 days, I made that 10,000 back. And now if I trade nicely, I know I'll be able to make like a lot of money. But that was a 3 year that I stayed in the game. So this is the most... Consistency is the key, and that what we talked about, risk management, that 1:2 is the key. If you take care of these two things, all the other things will just fall apart.
I love it. I love your mentality. I love your outlook on it. I love your story. And it's, it's interesting because it's very, very similar to my own story and, what I've learned over the years. So, I think most successful traders, when they start making that money, they, have the same revelations that you and I have had. And, it's been really fantastic speaking to you today. Now, before we sign off, I've got some questions for you. Bear with me. Okay. Sure. So I have 3 questions for you, which are kind of the standard questions that I ask. And then I have a question that's been left for you by Levy, who was our guest on the last time we hosted this podcast. So question number 1 is, what has trading taught you about yourself, life lessons, income streams, career prospects? So what has trading taught you? And this can be anything. You can answer that however you want. What has trading taught you?
Okay. See, what trading has taught me is, first thing is, in life, risk management is extremely important. no matter what, let's say you're driving on 80, it's fine. When you're driving on 150, 160, that's a risk management. If you're at 80, if something happens, I know how to brake. So
Yeah.
that's very important. Anything you do with your wife, you have a fight. Risk management is if things are going bad and something you are going to just say, which later on you will regret next day, why did I say that? That's a risk management, that you
management. I love that.
understand that, okay, now I'm going a little bit higher. Let's just stop it. Anything that we do in life, eating habits, we are eating, let's say, one day junk in 1 week, perfectly fine. But if we are eating junk all 7 days, all week, all month, later on, we'll end up having heart attacks, all sort of physical issues. So that's a risk management. So risk management, everything, everywhere we go, whatever we do, health wise, mentality wise, physical wise, money wise, family wise, it is important. So that's the most important thing.
It's a fantastic answer. It's brilliant. What would you change about your journey if you could?
A little slow. Like I could just go a little slow, understand the market, even though everybody knows about this. Like when I started the conversation, I told you that if I take 50 trades and there is a position sizing of 0.25, that's the risk I'm taking. I'll end up taking 50 trades or 100 trades, and out of those I will make money.
Okay.
But when you are actually in the live market, you end up taking a trade of 2%,
Sure.
3%, 2.5%, 5%, because that's the A plus setup for you. You want to just make this home run every time, but that's not the truth. If you just take just single in the long run, like you'll get home runs also, you'll get those 1:5, 1:6, 1:10 also, but you have to go slow and study, and that's the only way. There is no other way. There is, like, everything that's coming up on YouTube, the people who are showing in just 10 days I got this account, in 5 days I just got this million account, this, that, $60 I put and I made this, $100 I put and made this. Hardly have, like, even I gave you an example. In 3 days I cracked the account. There was an opportunity. That's the reason I did it. I'm not sure if next account that I have got I'll be able to do it. I'm not even prepared for that. I know the next account I have got, I'll probably take 2 months, 3 months. I'm ready with that, because I don't know if for next 2 months if the market is going to be sideways. I don't know how the market is going to react. So one has to be very, very sure what exactly am I going to do. So that's very important.
Amazing. Who has been your biggest supporter?
Well, the biggest supporter is definitely my wife, because no matter how many accounts I was blowing, how much money I was losing, she had trust in me. If you're doing it, you know what you're doing.
Love it.
So
I love it. Yeah. And the question that was left for you by our last guest, Levy, is, you may choose. Okay, so I'm just translating it a little bit, because it's a European English. So what made you choose trading for your future financial freedom? So basically, why did you choose Forex over anything else? Or, sorry, why did you choose trading itself over anything else for your future financial freedom?
Because it's limitless. Like, there is no limit how much money you can make. That's the first one. It's just limitless. That's the first thing. And second thing is, you have time. You can do it from anywhere you are, whatever you are. It's just like you have freedom of time and money, but not in the initial phase. Maybe after 3 years, maybe after 5 years, maybe a couple of years, but it can give you a kind of return that you can hardly make from just few industries, like 10,000%, maybe 100,000%. That's the kind of, like, I give you an example. I just put in $300 in no, not 300, $440, because there was a discount going on with this city trader. So $440 I put in, and what am I getting? $10,000.
$10,000.
See the kind of return that I have. So, and in future, what kind of return I'll be having? There are few industries that can give you that, or very few business, like retail industry. They have a return percentage of maybe 6-7%. Hotel industry. Like, as far as I know, 95% of the hotels are closed within 3 to 5 years. So only 5% of the hotels that just make it, and the return is 3%, 4%. But in this industry, there is, like, return is maybe 10,000%. But for that, first 3 years, just keep this in mind. You are in college, you are paying the fee of the college. So if 3 years you are not making any money, take it like that. You are in engineering, you are in doctor, you are in any degree, 3 years, you don't get any money. After that, 2 years, you get into the training period and all that. After 5 years or 6 years, you actually start making money.
Yeah.
Just take
So
trading
true.
also like that. If you take it like that, nobody can stop you to make
So
money.
true. So true. Look, MK, it's been a whirlwind. I love speaking to you today. And as I said at the start of the call, it's interesting to meet somebody who can talk as much as me, which is fantastic because it's made it for a
Oh,
really,
wow.
really great podcast. Thank you so much. I'm going to be catching up with you in 6 to 12 months, and I want you to be a millionaire because I think you'll be there. I think you're going to have millions of dollars in the bank, and I'm really excited to, journey with you. So make sure you keep in
I
contact.
appreciate it.
I'll certainly be keeping contact with you. And let's see where you are in 6 to 12 months. Let's get you back on, hey?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Likewise, I really like talking to you. I was thinking like it's going to be a 15, 20 minutes conversation, but it was a long conversation. My
How long will we
wife
be
has,
going? How long will we be going?
well,
I think
I
nearly
don't know.
2 hours. I love it.
2 hours?
Nearly.
Oh, wow.
Nearly,
Wow.
yeah.
I did not expect that long. My wife has came in so many times asking me, when are you going to wrap up? But yeah, it was a wonderful conversation with you. You are an amazing podcaster. I'm sure you are going to do
Hey, thank you
amazing
so
in
much.
this
Thank you so
industry.
much.
So
It's been a
thank you
pleasure,
so
and I'll
much.
catch you soon. Keep in contact, all right?
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so
Cheers.
much.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
MK.